So you went for it. You bought a cheap guitar off the internet because it was on sale, and you figured, what the heck, I'll give it a try. So it comes in the mail. You open the box, you're all excited, and you go to strum it, and you realize it's hard to play. It doesn't sound good. So you put it in a closet because it's too expensive to ship back, and you forget about it, right? Well, there's something you can do about it. There are things you can do to improve your cheap guitar to make it play and sound better. And so I want to share a few of those things with you today. The easiest thing you can do is to put new strings on it. That's a no-brainer. They're going to ship to you, most of them, with the cheapest strings possible. I prefer Elixirs. A lot of the cheaper guitars, you're like, why would I put Elixirs on it? They cost twice as much. Isn't that like putting a diamond necklace on a pig or something? No, it's going to make it sound way better. They're going to last way longer. Get the Nanowebs. You want 12s. That's a good size for pretty much any guitar. It's a light gauge. And they're coated, so the oils from your skin are not going to corrode the metal. They're going to last 10 times as long as the other kind. Try Elixirs if you haven't. Now, if you play heavy and strum a lot, you're going to get a little bit of the coating is going to wear off down here. That's okay. They're still going to sound good way longer than your regular strings. A few really easy upgrades. The bridge pins. Most cheap guitars come with plastic. If you get bone or ebony, it's about a $10 to $20 investment. You can order them online, change out the bridge pins. That's going to give you a little more sustained, a little brighter tone to get something harder than plastic down here. It makes a big difference. Same thing with this is called the saddle. If you get one of these pieces made out of bone, it will also change your tone and your sustain. You can order those pre-made with the offset of the B string and the E string here, or you can get one yourself. And if your action is way too high, that's one thing you can do. You can actually take all the strings off, pull this thing out, and if you have like a metal file that they use for sharpening chainsaws or something lying around in the house in your toolbox, you can file that down on the bottom side, make sure it's flat, and you can lower the action of your guitar that way. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say action, that's the distance between the strings and the fretboard. And the way you tell if your action's good or not, you want to find the 12th fret right here where the two dots are, and you want about 2 millimeters between your string and the fretboard there. So if you don't have a precise enough instrument to measure that, most picks will tell you how many millimeters they are. This one just happens to be 0.9 millimeters. If I put two of these together and if I put it in here, it's just about a perfect fit. And that means it's about 1.8 millimeters. It's just about perfect action for fingerstyle guitar. This is a Sigma. It's made in Indonesia. I paid about $129 for this guitar, but when it came out of the box, strings were super high or hard to mash. It didn't sound good, wasn't easy to play. All I had to do was make a few quick adjustments with this. You've probably seen this when you order a guitar. Most of them come with this. This is for adjusting your truss rod. Your guitar has a piece of metal inside the neck that will adjust the tension, and it will it'll straighten it. It'll bend it one way or the other. And so a lot of your guitars, they ship from overseas, they'll come with no tension on here, and if you pick it up and look down the neck, you'll notice it's kind of curved like this, and that creates more space between the string and the fretboard. And so you can adjust that. Now, these adjustments that I'm talking about, it's best for a professional luthier to make them. You go to a shop and pay someone to do it professionally. That's the best thing you can do. But if there's not a shop near you, or if you don't have the extra money, it costs about $75 to have your guitar set up. That's about the going rate for that. But if you're willing to give it a try, you can make a few adjustments yourself, and one is with this wrench that comes with your guitar. A lot of guitars, the truss rod adjustment will be right here under this part of the fretboard, and so you, depending on just how bad it is, you might want to loosen some of the tension on your strings, and then you fit this in there. And if you've got a bow this way, if it's way high action, then you can tighten this truss rod. You want to do it very slowly, and check, and you'll notice that your neck will get straighter and that action will get lower, and it will play better, it will sound better. Now here's the thing, you can go too far and it'll start to bow the other way. Where it came like this and the strings are really high, it'll start to bow the other way. And if that happens, if you get it too tight, then you're going to get to a lot more buzzing on the frets. So maybe you ordered a guitar that was too tight to begin with, and you played it and it buzzed like crazy. Well, you need to loosen the truss rod. You need to go to the left and loosen it if it's buzzing, if it's too close there. Like if only one of these picks fits in here and you can't get two of them in there, you probably need to loosen it a little bit. Make those adjustments very carefully and easily. You can mess things up or break things if you go too enthusiastically at this, but a few small turns of that, you'll see a big difference in how your guitar sounds and plays. You're going to be more confident. You're going to feel better. You can make chords easier. It's a whole lot easier to make a bar chord if you've got that 2mm action on your guitar instead of 3 or 4. It makes it almost impossible to do a bar chord, and when you're first learning, those bar chords are a nightmare. So your action, it'll make a huge difference. It'll make a $200 guitar play like $1 million, and that's what we want to happen. One final adjustment you can make. This is called the nut of your guitar. This is a Sigma, ordered off Amazon for $129. Really a quality instrument. It already came with a bone nut, a bone saddle, and that really improves your tone. This one is really hard to do by yourself. I would recommend a luthier to do that. For about $100 you can get this and the setup done. It's worth it, in my opinion, if you've got plastic up here. You can kind of tell if it's shiny. Most of the time those are plastic. If you look real close and you can't see any grains, then that's going to be a plastic nut. But this one is a bone or a synthetic bone. I can't quite remember, but that's going to make a big improvement. And if the action's not very good, even after you adjust the truss rod, you can adjust this saddle and the nut, and that's going to improve your action as well. If you do all that and it still doesn't play good, you can have them file the frets. I don't know if you've had a guitar for a long time, but if you've been playing a lot, especially right here, you'll get these little grooves in your frets, and that's going to create some buzzing and some differences in your intonation and how the notes sound. It's going to sound out of tune. Even when you tune it open, you master frets, it's not going to be in tune. They can fix that. The luthiers can fix that. You ask them to file the frets, they're going to give it, level it all out, and the intonation is going to be great. That investment, that little investment, $75, $100, $125, is going to make you play better and sound better. So change those strings, check your action, tighten the truss rod. You want about 2mm. You can get bone bridge pins. That's going to make a big difference. Bone saddle, bone nut. Those things will make your guitar play better and sound better, and you're going to be better. Keep playing.